I'm Jennifer with Channel 421. If you live around Clearwater, you've probably driven past this area without realizing just how much history was here. This was a Clearwater Finishing Plant. The plant was built in 1929 and its job was to take textile fabric and give it its final treatment, bleaching, dyeing, printing, and finishing. In other words, this is where fabric got its color, its patterns, and its finished appearance before it went out into the world. The plant was located along State Road 126, Belvedere Road, next to Clearwater Lake and Little Horse Creek. And water was a huge part of this operation. Clearwater Lake provided processed water and was also used for hydroelectric power. For decades, Clearwater Finishing was part of the textile industry that defined the Horse Creek Valley. But when that industry began disappearing, Clearwater Finishing disappeared with it. Operations ended in the late 1980s, and in 1989, United Merchants and Manufacturers went bankrupt. And that's when the story took a much darker turn. The abandoned industrial site didn't just leave behind empty buildings. It left behind a major environmental cleanup. When EPA began addressing the property, crews removed 2,694 drums, along with thousands of gallons of hazardous liquids, including acids, caustic materials, solvents, and other chemicals. Investigators also found contaminants including PCBs, arsenic, lead, mercury, copper, zinc, and hexavalent chromium in areas associated with the site. And the problem wasn't confined to the old buildings. Contamination was identified in the soil, wetlands, and nearby waterways, including Little Horse Creek and Horse Creek. Then in 2012, a fire destroyed much of what was left of the old complex. By then, this wasn't just an abandoned textile plant. It had become an environmental problem that would take decades to address. In September 2020, the Clearwater Finishing Plant site was added to the EPA's Superfund National Priorities List. And the cleanup didn't end there. In 2023, the EPA carried out a time-critical removal action to address asbestos-containing material found in debris piles at the site. Today, most of the original complex is gone, but portions of the old brick building, 2 warehouses, and the wastewater treatment building remain. That's what makes this site important to Horse Creek Valley history. Clearwater Finishing wasn't just another old mill that closed. It represents what happened when an entire textile industry disappeared and left behind buildings, jobs, contamination, and questions about what happens to those properties after the factories are gone. The next time you pass by this area, remember, there was once a plant here that helped turn raw textile fabric into the finished products people used every day. And the story of Clearwater Finishing didn't end when the machine stopped. The cleanup is still part of its history. I'm Jennifer with Channel 421, bringing you the history behind the places we pass every day. Does anybody remember the fire, or did anybody work there?